What's up, everyone? Welcome back to yet again another episode of the Nord Block Pod. It is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024. I am your host here, Nord97, joined with my other host. I keep forgetting that we're both hosts, and this isn't like my other podcast, but I'm here with my host, LeBlanc. How are we doing today, sir?
Taco Tuesday! We doing good.
It's been a long time since we recorded a Tuesday episode.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of just Sundays.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it's been a while, especially since we posted a podcast. Because the last time we posted a podcast, it was before the Holloway and Broberg offer sheets were announced they weren't being matched. It was before the Onnnn trade, the Askarov trade, the McGroarty deal. Who would have thought that a week in August that we just can't do an episode on Sunday, all this stuff happens.
Yeah.
So I think we should just get straight into it here with the offer sheets. The Edmonton Oilers chose to not match the offer sheets of Dylan Holloway and Philip Broberg, so they receive St. Louis's 2025 second and 2025 third. In addition to, apparently there was a trade between the Oilers and the Blues where the Oilers got Paul Fisher, who was a prospect, a 2028 third for future considerations from the Blues. So the way I envision this is they did get the money to match this deal because the Cody Ceci trade happened. They could put Kane on LTIR, and then you probably have enough money to work it out. But apparently, the trade that they made with St. Louis for Fisher in the third is kind of weird. But then I started thinking about it a little bit. Maybe, and this is really strange, but maybe the Oilers had the money to match it, and they went to St. Louis and said, well, maybe you guys should stir the pot for us and give us some more assets back, and maybe we won't match the offer sheet. I don't know if Paul Fisher in a third is sweetening the pot. As well as that, too, I don't particularly think that Ty Emberson and Vasily Podkolzin are good replacements for Broberg, Holloway, and Ceci, to be honest. So all of this seems like a head-scratcher, but I do understand why the Oilers didn't match these, because if they did match them, it would put them in they already are in cap hell, but it would kind of put them in a much more of a cap hell, and additionally, too, they have to sign the contracts of Draisaitl, McDavid, Bouchard down the road, so it makes sense to kind of just skip that for now, or not match these guys for now, even though it does suck losing two young guys in your future. LeBlanc, what did you think about this when the news dropped they weren't going to match?
Well, Nordic, here's the one thing that I found really hilarious about this whole thing. They made it seem like they were going to match, because, they traded away Ceci. They were making moves left and right. They got they traded somebody else away. They got Podkolzin in. It really seemed like this was going to work. Ceci out, Kane on LTI, and they were going to match it. And then they turned on we'll take the Fisher and the third, and then they didn't match it. And now I'm thinking about this: the Oilers now have some decent draft capital heading into next season, so they could. And I'll be honest, they're not using that draft capital. They're probably gonna be using that.
They're gonna flip it at the trade deadline, try and get some more assets, and try and build towards a cup, obviously. So yeah, I do agree with that. And again, they did make it seem like they were going to match. We thought that honestly they were going to be able to keep these two players, but instead Bowman made these deals and was like, I guess we'll take this cap flexibility in quotations, and the second and third round picks, 2/3 that, and just use them at the trade deadline. So I don't hate it for the Oilers. I think the Blues win this no matter what. I mean, you get two young players, which honestly, I am not very high on St. Louis. When we do our previews in a few weeks or so, we got to start talking about that. But anyways, when we do that, I like the Blues. I'm not very high on. They have young guys, but I don't know if they're one of the young. They're not
They're not a young up-and-coming team.
Yes. And getting these two guys, I think it's not a game changer, but it definitely does help.
Yeah, it doesn't move the needle, but it's good young depth, which a lot of good teams actually do need young, good depth. So
yes,
it helps them. I like their forward core very much.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yes, absolutely. So I do think that St. Louis won in that regard. But, again, I don't know if we'll see another offer sheet at some point this year. However, LeBlanc, I do have a question for you. So this is something that I was talking to my girlfriend about, and she's a Red Wings fan, by the way, and they have two people they need to match, that being Raymond and Seider. So let's say hypothetically, your favorite team, the Ottawa Senators, had the salary cap and had the draft capital to match both of these guys. Not just one, but both of them. To not only to put Detroit in a very sticky situation. You would obviously have to match them to the point that it is if for them to match both, they would be over the salary cap. Mm-hmm. You would have to do something like that. But would you be against that?
No, I'm not gonna lie. No, because here's the thing. I've been a big fan of Lucas Raymond since before he was drafted by the Red Wings. He's a guy that I really wanted Ottawa to take before Stützle emerges like the clear number 3 guy in the draft. I really was in love with Raymond, not like the player, I don't know him like that.
Wow.
You look at him at the season he had playing with Larkin, put him with Stützle and Tkachuk, and then who's going to score on a pairing of Sanderson and Seider?
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, that's probably the next 3 first-round picks. It's a lot, but, you look at where the team is. Prospect pool is already barren as it is. Win now.
Again, that probably, especially Ottawa, but of any team right now, it's like a 1% chance that actually happens, where both players are offer sheeted in that regard. There were rumors that there were teams that were sniffing around doing it, but again, if you do it, the Rangers have enough Red Wings have enough cap space to, no matter what you do, I think they would match it. It would just put them in
no matter what happens, even if you if you give Seider 9, they're gonna match it.
Yeah. The only way that this could work is if you colluded with another team. Let's say Ottawa colluded with Philly, and one of them offer sheeted Raymond and the other offer sheeted Seider for ridiculous amounts of money. Then Detroit can't match that. But
here's the
thing.
That
doesn't happen.
Does Detroit say, hey, look, we're getting 2 teams' first-round picks the next 3 years? That's 3 first-round picks the next 3 years. That's 9 first-round picks in the upcoming drafts.
That's true. That's the other thing you got to think about.
That's how you can build a very, very good team, or you can trade them away and build another good team. So I feel like in the end, Detroit's going to find a way to get them both under contract.
Oh no, they will.
I know. I've heard they're not close with either guy. So, we've seen guys hold out. We saw the most recent one I would say is probably Brady Tkachuk when he literally signed on the day of the first game.
Yeah. Again, it's very rare, and Brady Tkachuk's one of those rare instances where you see a guy hold out for that long. Mm-hmm. Who was someone who did that before?
Nylander. I would say
Nylander.
Yeah.
That was a few years back before that. So it is kind of rare. I'm not worried whatsoever. I think they will get these guys matched. Same with Swayman, same with Perfetti, same with Jarvis. I'm not worried. Mm-hmm. There's 3 weeks until training camp. They got enough time. I think we're going to get to the point where all of these guys are going to be signed within the same week.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie to you.
Look what happened last year with Zegras, where he up until training, almost I think it was first week of training camp, and then he got signed. That was the longest it was held out for.
Yeah, so these guys will get signed. I'm not worried about that.
No, like you said, I guarantee you, first week of training camp, boom, 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 boom. So,
yeah, we kind of went a little bit off course there. Let's get back on course. Any more thoughts on the offer sheet stuff?
I think St. Louis did a ballsy move, and like Doug Armstrong would said, if my mother was the GM of the Edmonton Oilers, I'd still do it.
That's funny. He definitely did it because of Bowman. Without a doubt in my mind. He'll never admit it, but he definitely did it because of Bowman. And Peter Chiarelli works with the Blues. So that's the other thing you got to keep in mind. All right, moving on now. This trade happened a week ago. It's just because of the way we recorded podcasts, we really couldn't get to it until now. The Montreal Canadiens acquired forward Patrick Laine and a 2026 second-round pick in exchange for defenseman Jordan Harris. So, again, Great trade for Montreal. I've said it in all the videos that I've made. It's honestly a low risk, high reward type deal because if this doesn't work out, Montreal is not a team that is going to be contending within the next, I would say, 2 seasons. Maybe they sniff the playoffs in 25-26, which I think is the last year of that contract. But again, this is a low risk, high reward deal. If Line A pans out and scores 30 goals, this is a massive win. And they get a second round pick in there too. But it's a matter of Line A staying consistent. And I think it really can work out, though. It almost doesn't hurt the Habs at all. What do you think, LeBlanc?
Here's the thing. I wasn't saying, Columbus, they fumbled the bag. I think Columbus also wins this deal because they didn't want to have that contract on the books. No retention. No retention. Yes, you give up a second that might be a pretty high second, but you get that contract off the books. Jordan Harris is he's more like a third pairing guy. He's looked good in Montreal when he's had the chance to play. But sometimes you gotta take a smaller return to get rid of a bad contract.
Yeah, and again, I don't hate it from that perspective for the Blue Jackets. I think they made out well here. They get a good defenseman in Harris, who will fit in probably in their top six right away when it comes to their blue line. But again, I think that them getting rid of this contract in full, not having to retain any of it, I think is terrific. And getting a less return for that, I think you're fine with that. You want that cap flexibility. I think Waddell made it clear that he wants a lot of those guys from the old regime gone. And Laine also wanted to leave too. So that's the other thing you got to keep in mind. But again, I think Montreal wins this deal.
Yeah, Waddell said he wants players who want to be Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yes.
Which I totally understand coming from a small market team fan. I totally get that. You want guys who want to be there. You want guys who want to play for the city and for, for the crest. But but Montreal, like you were saying, Laine, even if Laine is a flop in Montreal, Montreal are not going to be contending for at least the next, not next season, probably maybe the season after they get close. But if he's a flop, then it's fine. But if he can get back to what he was in Winnipeg, that's dangerous.
Yes, exactly.
And can the Atlantic Division please chill?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I'm glad my team's in the Metro and not the Atlantic. That's a brutal division you got to fight for in there. All 8 of those teams look like contenders, so it's going to be a battle to the finish. Moving on, the Seattle Kraken have signed Matty Beniers to a 7-year, $7.142857 million contract. Yeah, I know. It's very specific, but regardless, I think this is a great deal for Beniers. I've been very high on Beniers on this podcast, on other shows. I think that he's going to have a great season this coming year. He's going to have a really good breakout season. LeBlanc, what do you think about this?
Love me some Matty Beniers. I think it's a solid contract for Beniers. Last year he kind of drifted off a little bit from his rookie pace, but I think this upcoming year is going to be a year where he's going to prove that he won the call, that he can prove that he's better. He's good defensively. He's good. He needs to have a bounce back offensively. I think the whole Kraken team as a whole kind of fell off the wagon last year.
Yeah, I think naturally he did too.
I think Dan Bylsma is going to elevate his game to a whole new level. And that take might age very poorly, but I'm sticking with it right now.
Oh, I'm sticking with mine too. I think that Bylsma is going to do a really good job, and a lot of those guys that are on the team currently went through Coachella with Bylsma, so it definitely creates a lot of good chemistry amongst everyone in the team. But I do think Beniers is going to have a good year. Cole Sillinger signed a 2-year, $2.25 million contract. AKA Tate McRae's ex. That's the title of this post. But anywho, I think Sillinger definitely is also in need of a bounce back year. I think that he had some all right seasons before that, but he's going to need to take a step this year.
Cole Sillinger's had a rough go. He's had a really rough on the ice and off the ice. He's had a rough go. I really do think Cole Sillinger wasn't developed properly. I really do think that Cole Sillinger might be a guy. I know he signed a contract, but he might be a guy who benefits from a new environment. I even think 2.2 might be a little, like, I know it's only 2.2 mil, but like to me that feels like it's a little bit of an overpay.
I don't know. I think that they gave him this little bridge deal to kind of prove himself.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work, they'll move him.
Yes.
It's kind of how I see it, to be honest. Next up, then, we had a bunch of trades occur over the last couple of days. That involves, I guess we'll start off with the Rutger McGroarty, Braden Yeager 1-for-1. So the Pittsburgh Penguins acquired forward Rutger McGroarty and his NCAA signing rights. In exchange, the Winnipeg Jets acquired forward Braden Yeager. It is a 1-for-1 deal of two teams, really good prospects, and I like this deal a lot for both teams. I think Winnipeg gets a guy who's from around that area. He looks like he's very excited to play in Winnipeg. He looks like he actually wants to play in Winnipeg. And Yeager came off of a monstrous year in the WHL, so I think Yeager has a lot of potential with the Jets. McGroarty, I think, is a guy that can come to the Pens right away. He's done terrific with Michigan, first-line minutes on Team USA as well. He's a great forward. I think that it works out great for both teams, to be honest with you.
Do you know what's funny?
What's funny about it?
They were both picked 14th overall.
They were, that's right. Yes. Yeah, so, again, like, they are literally, like, kind of like, I wouldn't say they're identical players, but they are identical in that remark.
They're identical where you put them as a stature for a prospect. Like, Yeager had a monster year in Moose Jaw.
Yes.
And Yeager's actually from Western Canada. He's from Central Western Canada. Pretty sure he's from Saskatoon.
I believe so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then McGroarty, he's American. I think this trade will work out for both parties in the long run. It was obvious that Rutger McGroarty, like, no matter what he says, did not want to be a Winnipeg Jet. Like,
yeah,
like the quote he said, "Oh, it didn't feel right." That sounds like I've heard better excuses from 8-year-olds. Like,
exactly. Didn't feel right, really.
Yeah, and
like,
the one
you're in the NHL.
The one thing that will always, like, I don't know, is this me? It might just like irk me. Is that you look at Rutger McGroarty when he was like with the U.S. national team after he got drafted, and the year after he got drafted, saying how he loved the city of Winnipeg. Jets were his favorite team growing up, which was Cap.
Yeah, it was obviously Cap.
He couldn't wait to play in Winnipeg. Then all of a sudden, I don't want to be here.
Well, they don't give him what he wants, and he's just like, okay, screw you. I want to leave.
And I'm gonna just put this out there. It makes this very wondering. Is it more dangerous now? This might be a little off top. It's more dangerous now to draft a U.S. guy over a Russian, because you remember the stereotype was for years Russian players don't want to sign.
See, it depends. It depends, because I think if you're I don't know, because the Cutter Gauthier situation was 2 American teams, but like if you're a Canadian team drafting an American guy, you might be a little bit that might be in the back of your head. What I think though is that players and agents are getting too much of a say, especially these young players are getting too much of a say. Oh, I don't want to play here. I want to go here. Like, this is the second instance in the last year where we've seen this. Cutter Gauthier was the first one, and Rutger McGroarty's the second. It just doesn't. I don't know. I feel like players get too much power.
I mean, you look at guys like Adam Fox, who essentially forced his way to the New York Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at a guy. He's still a young player at the time, but he's not like. You see, like, he's an established guy. Look at a guy like Alex DeBrincat, who essentially forced his way to Detroit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Matthew Tkachuk forcing his way to Florida. There's so many instances of this happening, and like I feel like if you're, especially when the thing is about the ELC guys, if you just got drafted, and you're already complaining, that kind of I don't know me. It just shows the kind of
person you are, player you are.
Yeah,
honestly.
And
now, listen. I understand it from the perspective of like Tkachuk, DeBrincat.
Yeah.
Even though I don't respect it, like they've been in the league for a little bit. Okay, like you want to go play somewhere. All right, cool, whatever. But guys who just came into the league, like be lucky you're in the NHL.
Yeah, no.
Like, you have any idea? Listen, let me ask you this question. Would you trade your life right now, us making videos, you working at your job, me working at my job, going to school right now, for a spot in the NHL? Would you trade it for a spot in the NHL right now?
Am I getting paid?
Yes, you would get paid.
Then yes.
Well, yeah. So, that's the way I look at it. Like, you get drafted and then you're already, this team won't give you what you want. Your power play 1 minute, you're like, you're like, oh,
it's earned.
Going out.
It's earned. It's not given. Being drafted is not, it's not a right. It's a privilege.
Exactly.
You look at all the guys who won't go undrafted and see how, like, thankful and humble they are. It might just be, like, the first round thing, but, like, I don't know. I just find a lot of players nowadays they're so entitled.
Yeah, I know. It really actually pisses me off so much, and it's what pissed me off about the Cutter Gauthier situation. That was a whole nother thing. But again, wrapping it up, McGroarty.
I think he's gonna play in. He'll probably be top 6 minutes in Pittsburgh, knowing their core is.
Yeah, it's ill. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, this is how you make people in the league just hate you. You say you don't want to play somewhere when you literally just got there.
That first game back in Winnipeg.
Oh God, yeah.
Must-see TV.
Can only imagine. Well, imagine Philadelphia versus Anaheim.
Yeah, that's gonna be must-see TV as well. Those two games are gonna be. I'll have those circled on my calendar for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's actually another young player who requested out of their city without playing a long amount of time in there. But in this case, it's okay, in my opinion. So the San Jose Sharks acquired goalie Yaroslav Askarov, forward Nolan Burke, a 2025 third-round pick which belongs to Colorado. In exchange, the Nashville Predators acquired forward David Edstrom, goaltender Magnus Krona, a 2025 first-round pick which belongs to Vegas, and that is top 10 protected. So, for those who do not know, and I think we missed this because of just the way we record a podcast, Yaroslav Askarov requested a trade out of Nashville about a week or two ago, and said that because he would not report to the NHL, and this came out after a massive deal with Juuse Saros. And in this particular scenario, I don't blame Askarov because, first off, you have I wouldn't say he's the best, but you have one of the best goalie prospects in the NHL in your system. And I understand why Nashville did it, but you signed another really good goalie to a long-term contract. That good prospect is not going to want to be a backup for half of their career or their entire career, essentially.
Yeah.
So they want to go to a city, especially San Jose, which is loaded with prospects. Mm-hmm. They want to go to a city where they will be the starter, and they know they will be. Now, is that
a bad
selfish
thing?
Of Askarov?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Honestly, it's different from Askarov and McGroarty because McGroarty, you have to earn that spot. You have to earn that spot in the top 6. You have to earn that spot in the forward core. But if you're a goalie, it's actually hard to kind of get up there if you have a starting goalie stealing the spotlight from you.
Yeah, and
especially when you've shown in the AHL that you're ready to go.
I think this all stems from last season. Going to last season, Askarov was seen as the guy who's probably going to be the backup, and Nashville said no. You'll and he came up on emergency basis.
Yeah, he came up a couple times.
Looked all right, and then hey, you want to have me up now? No, we'll send you back down to Milwaukee. Goalies take longer to develop. I understand that, but after he started signing that big deal, and then bringing in, I think they bring in Wedgwood.
Yeah, they brought in Wedgwood.
That kind of sealed the deal that they wanted him to play another year in the A, and I don't blame him. He was 2020 draft.
He was, yeah. He was.
It's been 4 years. It would have been 5 years by this point. 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Goalies take about 3 to 5 years to develop into their full potential.
Somebody like Askarov, though, is ready right away.
Askarov,
not right away, but he's ready.
Askarov is on the level of guys like Jesper Wallstedt, of Sebastian Kosa. They're probably ready to go sooner than later. And
yes.
San Jose, they paid a pretty penny to get him. He will be the starter. or at least the backup to start the year.
He'll at least be in the NHL to start the year, probably for the full year. I don't think they gave up a ton, in my opinion. I think that Edstrom's a good prospect, but I do think that, the first round pick is Vegas. I don't think they gave up a ton. I think that honestly it's kind of a fair amount to get back for someone like Askarov, and it loads San Jose up they have almost everything solved. They have a goalie, they have a lot of good forwards. They just need maybe some more defensive prospects. Like they have their cornerstones. They are set if this all works out.
That Vegas pick might be pick 11 to 18.
That's true, though. That is true.
So that's the one thing that I kind of trading David Edstrom, who you just got him less than 6 months ago.
Shout out to David Edstrom. That guy has been bounced
getting drafted, then traded again in the span of a year, 14 months.
Yeah,
crazy and I feel like the first and Edstrom is a little much, but I think this is a great trade for San Jose. I think both teams get what they want. San Jose gets the prospect, one prospect area that we said they probably need a goalie for the future, and now they have that. San Jose is looking really set up for the future right now. And Nashville gets assets and more draft capital.
Exactly. So I do think that both teams win this deal. I can't lie. But San Jose they're really set up for the future. All right, two more things that I want to talk about in the news department. So, and they are not like trades or anything like that. We'll start off with Thatcher Demko. There's a report that Canucks goalie Thatcher Demko is expected to miss training camp and preseason due to injury, per Rick Dhaliwal and Thomas Drance. The club is hopeful he is ready to start the regular season opener, but that even seems to be in the question at this late stage of the summer. Canucks management is exploring all its options and appears to be in the market for additional insurance and net. One of their targets is free agent Kevin Lankinen, to whom they have made an offer earlier this week, but their salary cap situation may make a move difficult. So, Demko, it looks like the Canucks are preparing for the worst, is what I'm seeing here.
Your top 5, top 3, top 4 goalie is not ready to start the season and has a setback in his injury. That's very concerning. That's very concerning. And them preparing for the worst, I don't blame them. The one position that you need to be solid in the NHL to succeed is the goaltender position.
Exactly. I do think, though, that Artur Shilov's, in the playoffs at the very least, did prove that he can be a solid starter. We'll just see how a larger sample size in the regular season will be, because I would imagine that if Demko's not ready by opening night, he will be the starter.
Yes.
And I think that even then, if he's going to miss training camp and preseason due to this injury, he's probably going to miss the first few weeks of the season, because he's going to need to prepare and practice and get ready for the season. So, yeah, this puts the Canucks in a weird spot. Does this make you lower on them?
No, because I feel like Demko he'll probably beat back, I expect, by early November, late October. I don't think he's going to be out for a significant amount of time. Now, if he was out until, Christmas, then I'd have some concerns.
Yeah, if he was like Gabriel Landeskog, how he was in 22-23, then I would have a few concerns. But again, right now I'm not too worried. We'll definitely get more updates as we get closer and into training camp, which, by the way, is 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. We're getting there.
Getting a lot closer, yeah.
This is the last podcast of August, so for Northern Block. So definitely we're getting there. All right, one more thing I want to talk about here, and this is interesting. The Philadelphia Flyers decided to terminate Ryan Johansen's contract due to a material breach. Per Puck Report NHL, the Philadelphia Flyers have placed forward Ryan Johansen on unconditional waivers for purchase of a contract termination, setting a material breach as the reason. Johansen is expected to file a grievance for the termination, per Elliot Friedman. No extra reason was given for the termination by the Flyers. Johansen never played a game for the team after being acquired at the trade deadline. So here's one thing that I want you to keep in mind. The Nashville Predators, if this material breach and this contract does get terminated, because they didn't even announce that it cleared waivers, and then they terminated it. So it looks like they are going to have to go to court or some sort of that. But if this does go through and they terminate the contract, Nashville frees up $4 million cap space.
Wow. I did not know. I actually did not know that. So
they made, and I found this out today. So they would have made all those moves, and then if this goes through, they will get $4 million in cap space, even more. So, man, like Nashville's probably praying. But again, this is such a weird situation. We don't see this that often. I think the Flyers wanted to get rid of Johansen for a long time because his agent, Overhart, is the same agent as guess who? Cutter Gauthier. So, that kind of already makes things really not particularly great. And they immediately put him on waivers and sent him down to the AHL as soon as they traded for him.
I know why, and I know because Johansen has. If you don't know, here's a little context. Johansen played for Columbus. He was drafted by Columbus. Torts came in, hate each other, cannot stand each other.
That's the other part.
The report is they can't be in the same room with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even try. And apparently, when the Flyers brought him in, they tried to talk to him about, hey, do you want to play? Even though he's coach, he's like, no. So they sent him down.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, like, what else are they supposed to do? Just keep him.
The thing is that Johansen, that's why I always thought Johansen was a buyout candidate, probably because
yes, that's what I thought too.
So, but him getting terminated might be a good thing for the Flyers because he was never going to play for the Flyers when Torts was there.
No,
so
he was never going to play for them.
I'm not an agent. I'm not a GM. I don't know what's in that contract. I don't know what a material breach even is, to be honest with you. But it's something the contract he violated, and if it is true, then it's terminated. But I think this will go to court, and this might take a while.
Yes, it might take a little bit before this issue is resolved. The way I see it, the Flyers were trying for a while to get this contract terminated because they also found it weird that as soon as he never missed a practice, played all the games for the Avalanche, he got traded to Philly, suddenly an injury pops up. So that was something that the Flyers were a little bit concerned about. And then apparently a video released of him dancing at a wedding or something, or like lifting his wife up. And the Flyers were like, yeah, that seems like a material breach because he was lying about an injury. But I think that they wouldn't have done this had the NHL not have backed them up. That's the thing. Because this is going to turn into an NHL versus NHLPA type thing.
Yeah, it's going to be nasty.
Yes. So I think that they wouldn't have gone into this had they not had approval from the NHL and backup from them. So I think that they're going to end up probably ending. They might end up paying Johansen a certain amount of money, kind of like the Corey Perry situation that happened in, I think it was November or December with Chicago. But anyways, yeah, that whole situation is very strange. That's all I got for news. You have anything?
I think that's all the news we got.
All right, we got through all that in 33 minutes. What would you like to do next? Would you like to do the team by category?
Oh, I have something actually.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of the new center ice logos for the Senators and the Canucks?
I think they're all right. I don't like really buy into that. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's trash. I think it's cool. I guess I'm not like particularly like so. I'm not like worrying about that stuff. I guess it's cool. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like Ottawa's had that before. It's been because from 99 to I want to say when they rebranded and then they still had it and then they went to the they always had the big face. The big face at center ice.
They always did.
So them going back to the big face in a much bigger form. At first I didn't like it, and then now I'm starting to see, and I actually do really like it. In the detail in the line, they have the center has the the arrows on its plate there. Yeah, the arrows at center ice like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, and then Vancouver's, I don't like Vancouver's because it's off center, and that just really does not. I don't know.
Doesn't sit well with you.
Yeah, just if it was centered, I'm like sure, but it's really off center, which kind of irks me. But yeah, teams are gonna do what they do. Are there any trends you like to see come back for center ice logos?
I don't really. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't care. I don't care at all. Did you see Florida's one though?
Yeah, they tried to do what Vegas did, and it didn't work.
It doesn't look that.
The one thing I will say is that they need to put Hockeytown back in the Detroit Center.
They do. Mm-hmm. They do. That's one thing I do want them to do. Absolutely. All right. What should we do next, LeBlanc?
Let's do that prospect team.
Okay, so today we decided that since we finished our division teams last week, we thought that it would be a cool idea to draft a prospect team. We did this with the Nordcast, but we're doing it here today with the Northern Block Pod. This will be probably a better list because although I love my guys Carter, I love Carter. I don't know if he particularly is big into prospects like me and LeBlanc do get in depth here. But anyways, LeBlanc, I believe there's no rules on like how many players we can pick from each team.
No,
right?
We're going to try and lean towards multiple teams, but if you want, like, we won't give any limits. But like I said, prospect for me is, have you played more than 25 games?
Yeah, and there was in our prospects video there was someone trying to argue that Mason Lohrei was a prospect, and I'm like, dude, he played half a season.
Yeah,
he's not a prospect.
So, like,
and the way the way the person was trying to explain it to me, and I get what he was saying, but like it wasn't the criteria we ran through. He said that like, oh, he's only played one season in the league and he's got a lot of potential. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're saying, and I honestly agree with you, but like it's not the criteria that we ran by.
You're not a prospect anymore. You're a player.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think I saw what he was trying to say, but I'm like, dude, like really? All right. Anyways, let's get straight into this here. Would you like to go first?
I will, and I will be taking Macklin Celebrini at my center spot.
Okay, I love to see that. I think that's easy first pick. I'm gonna take Matvei Michkov.
Okay.
Should we be specific on wings because
we don't have to be specific on wings? Hang on, I'm just getting up my prospect list.
I'm gonna go with Michkov then at the right wing slot. Okay, let me bring up mine. You're up next, LeBlanc.
We're gonna go with Ivan Demidov.
Is Demidov a center or a winger?
He is a winger.
Okay, that's an insane first line. It's the lineup of the future. Demidov, Celebrini, Michkov. Man, good luck dealing with that. My next pick, we're gonna go with just forwards for now. Give me Will Smith. Will Smith a winger, right?
He's a center.
Ooh, okay. So you're already like incredibly top heavy down the middle.
I'll try to find it. There it is. Okay, perfect.
All right.
Go through my list here. Okay, so sorry. So we had Celebrini, Michkov, Demidov.
Yes.
And then Smith. Sorry, I'm just getting my I should have been more prepared. My apologies.
God dang it.
Smith. All right. Since we're going with forwards to start. Would you say Logan Stankoven's a prospect?
We got a lot of flack last time when we had Stankoven on our list. It's up to you if you want to add him in. He's played like 23 games in the NHL, I think. Wait, hang on, let me double check that. Hang on a second. Stankoven has played exactly. If it would load. Of course, the suspense is unreal. Sorry, guys. We were not prepared. Stankoven has played exactly 24 games.
Give me Stankoven. He's still in from the criteria.
Is he a winger? He's a winger,
yes.
Right? Okay, I'll put him on my right wing, below Michkov. Next up, then I'm gonna go a little off the board. Give me Danila Yurov.
Ooh.
I think he's a center.
I said ooh.
I think Yurov's a center. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yurov is a center.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're almost narrowed out our top 6 here.
Give me Ryan Leonard.
Ooh, Leonard's a winger
He's a
too,
right
right?
winger.
Okay. So third line right wing. I guess I'll go with Cutter Gauthier.
Okay. He's a winger, right?
I think he can be a center or a winger.
Well, just for this, we'll put him on the wing on the second line, I guess.
Second line left wing, okay.
Right. I think you got to go right here at my left wing spot. Let's go Gabe Perreault.
Ooh, yeah. Right wing?
Yes, he's a right wing.
Okay. I will take...
Sorry, he's a left wing. Excuse me.
We also get one extra forward, just like our
Yes.
criteria for the rest of these. Oops. I'm going to take... So I got all my main guys off the list. I will go with... Yeah, I'm going to go with Caden Lindstrom.
Okay.
He's a center, right?
Yes, he is a center. He's specifically a center.
Okay. Now is when it gets kind of hard because you got the top
Here's
guys
the thing.
out.
He's a center, but as in the NHL, he's projected more of a winger.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Berkeley Cadden.
Cadden's a center, right?
Yeah, but I think he'll be a winger in the NHL. But we'll put him at the extra forward spot, I guess. Then.
Yeah, at least for right now.
Wingers.
Give me Lecker Mackey. Isn't he a winger?
He is a winger.
All right, give me Lecker. I think he's a left winger.
He is a right winger.
Okay, I think he's really underrated. I like Lecker Mackey.
Yeah,
a lot.
I like Lecker Mackey a lot as well. So,
all right, you got last pick left.
Went right. I got to go left. Why don't we'll do it. Let's put Cole Eiserman there.
Ooh, wow. All right. People are gonna go crazy when they see Cole Eiserman's on that list. For defensemen, do we have to be specific, lefty or righty?
Yeah,
or
we'll go specific for this one.
All right, specifics. Okay. All right, forward core, I'll read it off here. Demidov, Celebrini, Michkov, first line. Gauthier, Smith, Stankoven, second line. Perreault, Yurov, Leonard, third line. Eiserman, Lindstrom, Lecker Mackey, fourth line, and then Cadden is your extra. I'm going to have the first pick. I'm going to go with Brant Clark. Somebody got mad in our prospect video because we had Brant Clark on the list. He's still technically a prospect, even though he was drafted like 4 years ago.
Pretty sure he's played. Has he played 25 games?
There's no way.
No, I think he's only played 10.
He hasn't played a lot.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, Clark is a right D. Also from my hometown.
Oh yeah. All right, who are you taking?
I'll go a left D since you went a right D. Give me Nikishin.
Okay, from the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes, he is a left D. A guy who I'm very high on.
All right, this is also someone who has been in as a. Oh wait, no. Give me Artem Levshinov first. I'll go with Levshinov first.
Levshinov's right.
It's already a loaded decor. After that,
I'm debating between two guys here because I know one of them, if I don't put him on the list, we will be yelled at. But I'm gonna go with Steve Bunham.
Is he a righty or a lefty?
He's a lefty.
Okay, that rounds out our top 4. All right, let me check something here before I go with what I want to do. So I'm also between 2 players right now, and I think you should know at least one of them that I'm thinking about. But I gotta look and see what handedness both of these guys are. Okay, so he's a right defense. Oh, hello, Cooper. So he's a right defense, and he is also a left defense. Okay, I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go with Lane Hudson at lefty.
I figured you were gonna go Lane Hudson.
I had to check real quick because otherwise I wasn't gonna go with him, but I'm gonna go with Lane Hudson. Feel like we're a little bit too low on Lane Hudson. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like we are, and I'm gonna go.
I think he's still gonna be a good defenseman. I just don't know if I feed into the Kill McCarr level hype that I've been seeing.
I'm gonna go so far off the board. You're gonna see things. Give me Carter Yakimchuk.
You're joking, right? Over Axel Sandin Pellikka?
Oh shit, he's there. My bad. He's there.
I was gonna say, bro.
I mean, in my ranking here, I also have the one by Scott Wheeler to the side here. He has Yakimchuk over Pellikka.
There's also Sam Dickinson.
Sam Dickinson's a lefty.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We're going for a right D. Like, I'll be honest, I think Yakimchuk is better than Zane Perrick, but I'll go ASP then.
I didn't even bring up Perrick, but okay. Yeah, ASP for sure. I think better. I think I would take it that third pairing, and then the extra's me actually. LeBlanc, I can't do it. I gotta go with Sam Dickinson.
That's fine.
I know you would love to put Yakimchuk on this list and piss all the people off, but not today. Not today. If you make your own, then you can put Yakimchuk first pairing right D above Brant Clark.
No, I wouldn't do that. He's not better than Clark or Levshinov.
All right, goalie. 3 goalies.
Wallstead?
Yeah, Wallstead I think should go there. I'm going to go Dustin Wolf as the backup. And then I think from the San Jose Sharks, right?
I'm trying to think who else is there.
Kosa, Augustine. Someone else was there.
There's someone else that we're forgetting.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. I had him, and then it slipped my mind.
Fowler.
Who?
Fowler? No, not Fowler. Oh, I got my goalie list on another page. Hang on.
Joseph Wall.
Where is... Oh, here it is. Levi.
Do we think Levi's better than Askarov?
Levi played 25 games.
Let me look at that. We didn't even think about Levi.
Or Shelovs?
Shelovs is also on that list. Is also I know Shelovs hasn't played more than 25 games because he's still rookie eligible. All right, hang on a second. Levi this year played. He's played 30 games in his career.
Okay, so he's not eligible then.
I would go Askarov, but I don't know if you want to think. Who was the other guy you thought about?
Shelovs.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, I say it's between Shelov, Kosa, and Askarov, and I think I'm going to lean towards Askarov.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Askarov as well. All right, well, that rounds out our prospect team. So Forward core, Ivan Demidov, Macklin Celebrini, Matvey Michkov. Second line, Cutter Gauthier, Will Smith, Logan Stankoven. Third line, Gabe Peralta, Nil Urov, Ryan Leonard. Fourth line, Cole Eiserman, Caden Lindstrom, Jonathan Lecker-Mackey. And your extras, Berkeley Cann. Lefties and righties, Alexander Nikishin, Brant Clark, Zeev Boyum, Artem Levshinov, Lane Hudson, Axel Sandin Pelika, and Sam Dickinson's your extra. Goalies is Wallstead, Wolf, and Askarov. LeBlanc, you making any changes?
No, I think we're good here.
I think we're doing pretty well. All right, cool. What would you like to do next? Do you want to wrap up with the game, or?
Yeah, so let's do the game. So,
right.
Earlier today, actually, so it's kind of good we were doing it was today. I'd say peers, Mbon Hockey and Marcucci posted a graphic on their Instagram. It was under 24, build a team for the next decade with $15. Now, if you know this game, there are 5 categories. It's all the positions, and there's 5 players in a row, and they all have a dollar amount beside them. Obviously, the higher-end tier players are going to have $5. And the lower-end tier players are going to have $1.
Okay.
Nordic, do you have the graphic up?
Are we going off of their list?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, I have the graphic up.
So, but here's the catch I put in for Nordic and I. You must build the team, but once you use the dollar amount, like let's say I pick on this board, we got Slavkovsky at $5 for the left wing.
Huh.
Once I use $5, I can't use any more players in that $5 category. And I'm just going to read to the audio listeners who is in each row really quickly.
Okay.
So, in the $5, first of all, the categories are center, right wing, right defenseman, left defenseman.
Stay with us here.
So, $5. Stutzla, Raymond, Slavkovsky, Sanderson, and I believe that's Simone Nemec.
Here's what I think we should do. We should start off with each position and then list the players.
Okay, so position. So, starting from $5 and going all the way down to $1.
And then we choose.
Center.
That's how I think.
Stutzla, Johnston, Cooley, McTavish, Cousins.
Okay. All right. Now we got to pick. Because we're going to go in that way so people remember who the hell's on each thing. All right. So between those guys, I feel like I know what LeBlanc's going to do.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you want to go first?
I'll let you go first.
I am going to take Mason McTavish.
Ooh, that's exactly what I was going to do, too. McTavish at $2. Yeah, because I think that, honestly, like, with McTavish, like, the guy at $2, that's great value. First off, that's great value.
I love Stutzla. I would take him here, but first of all, Mike has priced out all my favorite players at $5. Both.
Oh yeah.
So and there's a couple things I want to build with my team that I need that $5 later down the road.
Yes, it's exactly what I'm thinking there too.
All right, right wingers. So for us, both of us, $2 are gone. Can't use it anymore.
Yep. Nope. $2.
Right wing, starting from $5 to $1. Lucas Raymond, Seth Jarvis. Excuse me. Cole Caulfield, Dylan Gunther, and I believe that's J.J. Peterka.
Yes. And we can't use Gunther.
Mm-hmm. So Gunther you can't use.
All right. I need to deeply analyze these other picks. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Give me Lucas Raymond $5.
I'll be taking Seth Jarvis $4.
All right. Okay, I like that.
He'll be on
left wing.
So he will be on my right wing.
I guess I gotta write this down.
All right. So for me, $2 and $4 are gone. For Evan, $2 and $5 are gone.
Yes.
Left wing, starting from $5 to $1. Uri Slavkovsky, Matthew Boldy, Alexis Lafreniere, Zach Benson, and William Eklund.
Give me $1, Eklund.
I was going to do the exact same thing. That's insane value. Eklund, $1.
I don't know how you can just, like, skip out on that.
I know. So, now I have 3 and 5 left.
I have 4 and 3 left, and I think I'm building a perfect decor here.
Right. Left defenseman. Jake Sanderson, Pavel Mintyukov, Owen Power, Cam York, and Bowen Byram. And this is easy for me, Evan. I'm going Jake Sanderson.
Well, yeah, you can go with Sanderson. That's why. So I don't blame that. All right, I'm going to use that's Mintyukov, right?
Yes.
Man, with my $4 slot, I'm taking Wait, no. Yeah, I'm going to take Pavel Mintyukov in my $4 slot.
Okay. Which means we only have 1 category left. I have $3 left.
Oh, we both got to go with Mo Seider.
Yeah. So the options were Simone Nemec, Brock Faber, Mo Seider, David Juracek, and Jordan Spence.
Yeah, I'm going.
And we have to go Seider.
Yeah, we do.
And once again, me and Evan have this great thing of we just love the same players.
We went with the same thing except for right wings and left defense. Everything else is the same.
Yeah, so my team is Eklund, McTavish, Jarvis. And then my defense is Sanderson, Seider, which I alluded to earlier in this episode, that's pretty insane.
It's pretty insane. Exactly. All right, well, that's awesome. My team is Eklund, McTavish, Raymond, and then Mintyukov and Seider. So, yeah, pretty cool thing. Shout out to Barner and Marcusi for that.
Yeah.
That is all I got, LeBlanc. Do you have anything else you would like to talk about?
No, that's all I got for now.
LeBlanc, would you like to announce where you are going?
So, I will be heading down to the great state of Michigan. Heading down to East Lansing to see a Michigan State football game. And then the next day, we're going up to Ann Arbor to see a Michigan football game. I know they're rivals, but the person I'm going with, Trevor, he's a big Michigan fan. Couldn't just not go to Michigan.
Exactly. That does mean that our episodes will be a little bit off because I don't think LeBlanc gets back till Tuesday or Monday.
I don't get back till Monday, but I will be off on the Tuesday.
Okay, so probably expect an episode next Wednesday of the Northern Block Pod. That'll conclude episode number 17 of the Northern Block Podcast. Thank you very much for watching and listening. If you are watching on the YouTube end of things, be sure to like and subscribe down below. If you are watching on the audio end of things, give us a good review. Tell your friends. If you want to follow the Northern Block Pod, Instagram, follow at NordBlockPod. Plenty of things get posted there. LeBlanc's arguing with people in the comments. It's a great time. But anyways, I'm Nord, that's Block. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Adios.
Ciao.